Today we're going to talk about a must-have in photography, which is under $99/euros. It can also be more, but I don't find it necessary as long as it has wireless capability. Let's dive in straight. This is an external flash, and I'll tell you later my number one rule and how and where to bounce the flash. I'll give you a pro hint if you shoot inside with the flash. So this is a flash gun, and back in the days when I was shooting events, I was either having it straight on camera or I was using it with a trigger off camera. Most of them come with a diffuser, which is this transparent thing and sits on top of the flash, and it also has a white plastic which is made to push some lights from the flash towards the direction that it's pointed. So the flash is going up, it reflects here and then goes straight. So if you hold it like this and point it towards the ceiling, then a part of the light will travel forwards towards what I am photographing, and it will change the way things look. Now I also use these type of domes or anything that can be on top of the flash. I find that accessories marketing wise done good, but as a functionality for me most of the times it was somewhere in the bag and I was never using it. So let's have some examples. This is shooting straight, so the flash pointed exactly at my face. Looks like crap, it's flat, no dimension. The next one is directed toward me, but with a diffusion that is incorporated. Still crap. And next is pointed towards the ceiling and with the white card out. Better, but it can still be improved. So crap, but a better. And this is a shot pointed towards the ceiling, but without that white thing. The aim is to have a 3D form. By that, I mean a part of the face should be more in the light, while a part of the face should be on the shadow side. This gives a three-dimensional look on the face in the photo. Getting back to the number one rule that I use indoors. It's so easy. When you photograph someone, the person's nose indicates where you should bounce the flash off. So we have walls all over, regardless if they are close or if they are 10 meters away, doesn't even matter. My face is facing that direction. Now the flash needs to be bounced from that specific wall, like this. Obviously this part of the face here will be more on the light side, while this side will be more on the shadow side. If we turn and my nose points at the other direction, then I'm also changing the flash like this, and now this side will be more towards the light direction and this side will be more on the shadow side. Like that we have a light which is giving a corner. Bang! Let me show you how it would look if I'm pointing towards that direction but I'm facing the flash towards the opposite. There's quite of a difference, right? Yeah, got it. But what happens if it's a group photo? Then I just turn the flash at 45 degrees and I bounce it towards the wall behind me. And usually in group photos, you're not asking everyone to look straight into the camera because they'll be flat lighted. You somehow ask them to look at each other or to smile or look somewhere else or stuff like this. Let me know in the comments if there's any rule that you're following when you're shooting flash. Later on, I'll tell you how I'm using this outdoors. The next thing that you can also do with these things is you can trigger them wireless, meaning you have a wireless trigger, something like this, which sits on the camera. I can add a support eventually of the flash or put it on a stand and put it wherever I would like and trigger it wireless. Say you have something to shoot like a dance floor or anything indoors. You get two of these, add them diagonally, raise them up, put some sand boxes, sand pouches so that they stay and no one bumps them and then they fall and then they get cracked or broken. Put them at 45 degrees towards the dance floor, and now you can go all around the dance floor or whatever you would like to photograph that inside the circle where the flashes are, and you will have an even light and you will have light you can shoot with, and it will look a lot different. Imagine you just have the trigger on camera and then you click around whatever you would like and shoot and everything will be neat. Nowadays these things are quite smart. Adjust the power which can be set from the trigger itself. You don't need to go on the flash and button and do adjustments. And some of them just automatically know what's the focal length of your lens that you're shooting, and if you're having a zoom and you're switching for, I don't know, 18 to 55, they're just in real time. This also means less settings that you need to adjust. For outdoors, I'm usually using it with the stand off camera pointed towards the subject and having a low power initially, and then raising the power based on what are the needs. The thing here is, if I have no walls around me, surrounding me, nothing, I need to emulate somehow the bounce from a wall since there are none. So I just set the flash cam where the nose of the subject points, wherever. Same rule as before. Set a lower power, expose for the sky if there is any sky in the photo. Set the power so that the subject also is exposed correctly, and that's it. Sometimes where there's absolutely nothing around me, I also use my hand to have something to bounce off the flash, like this. Be aware that the temperature of the light will change and be more warm since I'm bouncing it off from something surface that has a color. So you would need to adjust your white balance. That's it for today. I hope I made things a bit more clear. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers!